As you might guess from the name, Upper Xtreme isn't your typical church youth group. What began as a concert ministry at 4th Street United Methodist Church in Aurora, Illinois, has now become a fellowship for youth who have been disenfranchised by the church. Upper Xtreme is based in Chicago's western suburbs, and we welcome its leader, Pastor Sam Smith, along with Sam Venencia, a senior at Wheaton Warrenville High School, and Jacob Ramsey, a senior at Wheaton North High School. Thank you all for joining us today to talk about this youth group. And maybe, Pastor Sam, you can talk a little bit about how this all started. It started as a concert ministry. Is that still the focus?
Well, many years ago, I was a youth pastor at the 4th Street United Methodist Church, and us as a youth group, I include myself in as the youth, we felt a need to minister to the kids out and around us, and the best way was to do a concert ministry. So I and another kid came up with the idea of calling it Upper Xtreme, and we did concerts for about 5 years, mainly to high school groups. They didn't have to be Christian, they could be non-Christian as long as they kept it clean. And we ended up having a lot of thrash groups, a lot of screamo groups, kind of like your mother's worst nightmare type of groups, but the kids needed a place to play. So many kids were amazed that we as a church would let them in, but we thought it was a real ministry to let them do that.
And then how did it grow into a youth group then?
Well, I left 4th Street and moved on from there, and I met a cadre of young men who seemed to be disenfranchised with the church per se as an establishment, and so I saw a need for bringing these young people together, and I brought them together under the umbrella name of Upper Xtreme Fellowship, and we just began because we had the need for fellowship with one another.
And Sam, tell us a little bit how you got involved in the youth group. What drew you into the group?
Well, Sam was a youth pastor at a youth group at a church I formerly attended, and there was a bit of a misunderstanding with that and a bit of a falling out with the church. And after Sam had left, I just didn't really like how things were running there, and so I decided to go with him. And
what is it you like about Upper Xtreme?
well, it's much more relaxed than your typical youth group, but at the same time you're still getting the message that a youth group will give. I mean, it's like there's less, you're more free to be yourself. And
Jacob, tell us a little bit about your story and how you joined the group.
It was mainly through my friend Alex. Like, we had class together, and he told me that he used to go, or he goes to like this youth group, and I was hearing about it for a while, but I could never go because of like my living situation at the time. But after a while, my friend David, he drove me there, and that's when I went to the Loretta Convent, and I met like Chet and all those guys, and I just kept going like every week because it was really interesting to me.
What do you get out of it every week when you are there and when you leave there? And
well, I guess the main thing is just the family aspect of it, because we're all really close. Like, we all really like each other, and it's really easy just to get along and to actually try to like understand what Sister Pam is trying to convey to us each week.
And Pastor Smith, maybe you can explain what makes this youth group any different from another youth group.
Well, I think part of it is the fact that a lot of these guys felt uncomfortable in the traditional church, and I must say that I know some of these guys, the church that they were in, they felt uncomfortable with them being there, partly because some youth groups tend to want to cater towards churchy type of kids, and I don't always run in those circles. I like kids who are just ordinary kids who need the Lord, and I don't care what they look like, or they got dreads or tattoos or whatever. They're welcome. They're brothers, and so it's an open place.
Open to all. And
right.
What kind of message are you trying to teach these youth?
I think the main message is to follow in the footsteps of Jesus, and I might say, connected to the last question, is we have some kids that they do not call themselves Christians. Some call themselves agnostic. But we don't make a judgment upon those kids at all. But we're all there to discover. We're all on a journey hopefully to a place where we're more like Jesus. And so we talk a lot about what it is to be a disciple of Jesus Christ.
Well, Sam, tell us a little bit about your faith background and what you get out of this youth group that's different than maybe the traditional youth group.
Well, I've been attending church my entire life, and what's been different about, or I still am also, but what's been different about this is just the fact that it's so much more relaxed, and whereas I feel there might be a judgmental aspect in some areas of the traditional church, there isn't that there. Anyone's welcome, and yeah, they're just here they're welcome to hear the message.
And Jacob, tell us a little bit, what do you guys do? What's the typical Sunday, because you meet on Sunday evenings, right?
So basically, we get there like at 6, and we eat food, kind of socialize with each other. And after around 7 o'clock, that's when we usually like talk about whatever message you're trying to. Usually it's like, could be like a movie, could be like a Bible verse that we just think about and talk about for like a little while and try to figure out how this applies to us and how we can like use that for like practically throughout our daily lives.
So you really connect more with this than maybe going to Sunday school or sitting in a worship service?
I would say so. Like there's this other group I used to go to, and it's just not as, like kind of like what Sam said, it's a little more judgmental, I feel. And this group is a lot more accepting, I think, of just whoever.
You say it's the beginning of a new community. Tell us a little bit about that and why you say that.
Well, I say that because, again, I'm dealing with kids who have felt disenfranchised with the church. My idea of the church is that it's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood. We're all one big family. And for some, that hasn't proved out to be. So we want to make it so that it is a family and that we can love and accept everybody, no matter where they're at and where they're at in their life. I think that's very, very needed, and especially guys who are in their junior, senior year of high school or first year of college. You need love and acceptance. That's a stage of life where a lot of guys are a little bit disenfranchised with their parents, and so maybe I can step in and fill in for mom or dad or whatever in any way that I can. They tend to call me Saster Pam, so I call that a term of endearment. It's dyslexic for Pastor Sam, but I really like that. I even got a license plate that says Saster Pam. But you know, we're one big happy family, and sometimes we have disagreements with one another. We have had times where we've gotten together with two guys with me, and we just try to patch up things and work on our relationships with one another.
And Sam, tell me, has Upper Xtreme changed you, and if so, how?
I feel like it's really made me more open to people who might not be of a Christian background or might have a different sexuality. It's overall just made me more accepting of people.
How would you answer that too, Jacob? How has it changed you?
You know, I don't usually go to church, you know, on Sundays. So I guess this kind of helped me, make like religious stuff with Jesus and that kind of thing, like a part of my weekly life, daily life. So I guess it's kind of helped me think about that more.
What kind of things do you do besides, I know you do a little Bible study and you eat food, and what kind of things do you do for fun then?
We go on trips sometimes, like we went to the Friedenswald, was it like a Christian camp?
Camp Friedenswald.
And it was us, or me and Sam really, and a lot of other kids from different groups like us kind of, and we were all just together. And that was a lot of fun, I thought.
And we used to go to the Christian rock concert festival, Cornerstone, down in Bushnell. And that was really fun. We get a few guys load up an RV and just spend the week down there and help Sam run the I Will Not Kill booth he does.
Thank you, Pastor Smith, for joining us, and Sam and Jacob. I really appreciate you sharing your story and more about Upper Xtreme. Thank you. I'm Anne Marie Gerhardt for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.